There is a certain kind of tiredness that comes from feeling behind. It is not always physical. Sometimes you wake up, check your phone, see someone else moving forward, and feel like you're standing still. Someone got the job. Someone moved to a new city. Someone started a business. Someone looks healthier, happier, more certain about where their life is going. And even if you're happy for them, a part of you starts measuring your own life against theirs. You start thinking about your age, your choices, the time you lost, the things you said you would do but did not finish, the person you thought you would be by now. That feeling can follow you quietly. It can sit with you while you work, while you eat, while you try to sleep. It can make normal days feel heavier than they should. And the hardest part is that most people around you may not even notice. You still answer messages, you still show up, you still do what you need to do. But inside, there is this quiet question that keeps coming back. Am I falling behind? The answer is not as simple as yes or no, because life is not a race with one starting line and one finish line. It only feels that way because we are constantly shown everyone else's progress in pieces. You see the result, but not the years of uncertainty behind it. You see the announcement, but not the months when nothing was working. You see someone's confidence, but not the private moments when they doubt themselves too. Most of the time, you are not comparing your life to someone else's full life. You are comparing your unfinished middle to their most polished moment. And that kind of comparison will always make you feel late. It will make you forget what you have already survived. It will make you ignore the progress that does not look impressive from the outside. It will make you believe that if your life does not look clear yet, then something must be wrong with you. But being unclear does not mean you're failing. Feeling lost does not mean you're broken. And being behind the timeline you imagined does not mean you're out of time. Sometimes, feeling behind is not proof that your life is over. It is proof that you're actually finally paying attention to what you want. That discomfort may be telling you something. Not that you are worthless. Not that you missed out your chance. Not that everyone else is better than you. It may simply be telling you that some part of your life needs care, structure, honesty, or change. And that is different, because shame makes you freeze, but awareness can help you begin again. The problem is that when people feel behind, they often try to fix everything at once. They want a new body, a new career, a new routine, a new mindset, a new life, and they want it immediately. So they make a plan that is too heavy to carry. They promise themselves they will wake up early, work out every day, stop wasting time, eat perfectly, work harder, save money, read more, and become a completely different person in 1 week. And for a few days, it feels possible. And then real life comes back. The energy drops, the routine breaks, and the same person who was trying to change now feels even worse than before. Not because they were lazy, because they were trying to rebuild their entire life with no foundation. A reset doesn't have to start with a dramatic decision. Sometimes it starts with one small promise you actually keep. Making your bed, going for a walk, cleaning the space around you, drinking water before another coffee, writing down what is bothering you instead of carrying all in your head. Applying for one opportunity, finishing one task you've been avoiding, going to sleep a little earlier, putting the phone down when it starts making you feel worse. These things may look small from the outside, but when you feel behind, small actions matter because they give you evidence. Evidence that you're not completely stuck. Evidence that you can still move. Evidence that your life can respond when you start treating it with care again. You don't need to become a new person overnight. You need to stop abandoning yourself because you're embarrassed by where you are. There is a difference between accepting your current life and settling for it. Acceptance means you stop lying to yourself. Look at where you are. Clearly, you admit what is not working. You stop pretending you're fine if you're not fine. But also stop attacking yourself for being human. Settling is when you decide nothing can change. Acceptance is when you finally stop running from the truth long enough to do something with it. If you feel behind, look at your life, honestly, but gently. Ask yourself what actually needs to change. Not what would make you look impressive online. Not what would make other people approve of you. Instead, ask yourself, what would make my daily life feel healthier? What would make my mind feel less chaotic? And what would help me trust myself again? For some people, the answer is discipline. For others, it's rest. For some, it's leaving an environment that keeps pulling them backward. For others, it's staying where they are and finally building structure. There is no single answer for everyone, but there is one thing that is almost always true. You can't hate yourself into becoming someone you're proud of. You can force yourself for a while. You can run off fear, comparison, and pressure, but eventually that kind of fuel burns out. A healthier life has to be built on something steadier. Respect for yourself, patience with the process, the willingness to do boring things constantly, the courage to start before you feel ready, the humility to be a beginner again. A lot of people stay stuck because they're embarrassed to start small. They don't want to be seen trying. They don't want to be bad at something. They don't want to face the gap between who they are and who they want to become. So they wait. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until life feels less messy. They wait until the perfect time. But confidence usually comes after action, not before it. Clarity often comes after movement, not before it. You may not know exactly where your life is going right now. That doesn't mean you cannot take the next step. You don't need the whole path. You just need the next honest move. Maybe that move is fixing your sleep. Maybe it's taking care of your body again. Maybe it's having the conversation you keep avoiding. Maybe it's learning a skill. Maybe it's applying for a job. Maybe it's creating something, even if nobody's watching yet. Maybe it's simply getting through this season without giving up on yourself. Not every chapter of your life will look successful when you're inside of it. Some chapters are quiet, some are confusing, some are just about recovering from what the last version of you had to carry. That doesn't make them wasted. Quiet chapter can still be a turning point. A slow season can still be preparing you. Tonight, you don't need to solve your whole life. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You only need to choose one small action that brings you back to yourself. Clean one corner of your room. Write one honest sentence. Take one walk. Make one plan for tomorrow. Do one thing that your future self would quietly thank you for, and then do another tomorrow. So if you feel behind, breathe for a moment. You're not finished. You're not late. You're not the only person who feels this way. Start with one small promise. Keep it, then keep another. Your life doesn't need to change all at once to prove that change is happening. Sometimes the reset begins quietly, and sometimes that is exactly how it lasts.